Recording in
5, 4, 3, 2.
1. Woo! Here we go. Welcome to another episode of Love and
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
This is our first episode. My name is Lerato
And I'm Tresor. That's all. They don't need to know their surname.
Are you Madonna? We decided to actually put a podcast together to talk about exactly what the name says. Love and bullshit.
And the bullshit.
Because you can't have the one without the other.
Absolutely. And these days, it seems like everyone is full of BS, especially my daughter. Kings of the BS.
I think everyone is full of BS in their own way. But I think you guys are a little more obvious about yours. We know how to hide our BS very well.
In regards to that, I think women definitely knows how to hide the BS more than gents. And gents, we're a little bit, how can I say, not careless, but we're expressive, you know?
You are messy. You guys are messy. To kick off our podcast, we actually wanted to talk about something that we had been talking about privately. We all know that there's a blessy and blessy pandemic.
Yeah, we.
Along with COVID, there's a blessy and blessy pandemic. And what it seems like is that there are a lot more males who are blessers and females who are basically using their bodies as currency. And Tresor and I spoke about it, and we thought, are there males who are doing the same, who are using their bodies to pay the bills?
Are there?
Well, I can say I had the shock of my life.
Yeah.
I was on a group chat with some friends, and we were talking about a guy who shall remain nameless.
Anonymous.
Hey, let's keep
Hey, we
people
know you, Anonymous.
who basically went out with his friends, and they went to go have a couple of drinks and, pop bottles, have a good time. Do you? No judgment here.
Okay.
However, to set the premise is that he had been having, him and his woman had a lot of financial trouble at home, and they were just going through it, especially during, COVID. There's loss of jobs, etc. So he didn't have any cash, but went out with his friends.
Sure.
And when the bill came, the other guys were like, Gaibo, you can't be, sponging off of us.
Yeah.
So if we're going to pay the bill, you need to do something. You know what I mean? Like to pay for your part, because you can't just pop bottles out
So
here for
who was
free.
he hanging around with? Firstly?
No, but wait. Let me finish my story. So this guy then decided that he was going to let the guys basically have sex with him.
Oh my
and
God. Yeah.
Anally. Well, there's no other way, I guess. When it's male to male.
Sure.
So this girl decided to talk about it and say, okay, does that mean, what does that mean for my relationship with this guy?
That
Because
is
he
my
disclosed-
nigga, Batty boy.
Yeah. He disclosed the information in a drunken state.
Yeah.
Now, my number one issue with this whole thing is that he didn't use his body to buy food for the house or to pay the school fees for the kids. He used it to pay a bill for alcohol.
Imagine.
And that was my number one beef.
Imagine.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Her concerns was his sexuality as a whole.
Yeah.
But I was like, if a guy sleeps with another guy just to pay the bills,
Sure.
it is, it's your business. Sleep with whoever you want to. However, if you're going to go that far, I don't think it should be to pay bills for an alcohol bill. It should be to provide for the family.
Pay
what
for your bond or something, Not for each other.
Yeah. So what do you think about this?
I'm speechless because I'm still trying to figure out, at which point did this guy decide leaving the house without money? obviously sometimes men, we do that. We can leave your home without a penny and you meet up with your boys. Either they will
No, I
help
don't
you.
know. I'm a girl, so I don't do those
No, I'm
things.
saying it's from a male perspective, standard that your boy will definitely help you out, in terms of booze and whatnot. But this particular naga, he left home to hang around with a questionable circle of, I don't know, was he twerking? Was he, like, what was happening for these other men who asked him?
You see, we don't even know the
bend over, my
circumstances.
nigga.
Did he offer, or did they propose the situation? Because that was also my question. I was like, there are so many things to unpack in this situation. Did he offer? Did he say, okay, guys, I don't have any guac. I can't play.
Yes.
Can one of you hit it, right?
Oh, my God.
And where did they go? Did they go to the bathroom? Did they go to a hotel? There's so many things to unpack. However, what I want to know is that, is it a trend now? Are men actually using their bodies for currency?
Well, I think some are, because like if you look at male influencers, not the big ones like Svovo and whatnot, but the average one, I think they're questionable, Living this lavish life, I presume that they also, little go-go boys, like entertain.
You think they have a sugar mama?
The entertaining sugar mommies, that's for sure, to pay
to
for
be on a boat.
You know what I mean? And you're like, dude, I know you're a mid-range kind of dude, Probably your home is not fully furnished, But the lavish life that you're living on, on Instagram is just a bit questionable,
But as a male, is that like degrading for you guys, or is it just a means to a way?
I can't answer that question because I've never been in that situation like here.
Yes, but like if you had to do it, what would you have to internally
first of all,
be okay
I'll
with?
do it with sugar mama, If sugar mama is gonna badger me and then I'm gonna take that paycheck and take my woman on a holiday, I'll even pay for a car allowance, and actually that will be a secret that I will die with,
Oh, okay.
Your
So
wife
you
is
never
gonna
even
I won't tell her. Like, why? Firstly, your woman is gonna look at you like, shit, like, is this the first time he does this? Or
is this just how he pays the bill?
Is this how he's been paying his bill? And he's lying to me that, oh, no, he's a content producer and whatnot. But on the real, this guy's been entertaining.
In the circumstances that we are all faced with, right? Is it honestly like an issue? Because there's no jobs. It's not like, he can apply to things and get hired and get a great salary. If he's going to get hired somewhere, the salary is probably going to, be less than his expenses.
But let's also discuss, like, what is at stake there? Because it's like, when, as an individual, when you're doing something that is beyond you, there's so much at stake. Mental, like your state of mind has quite shifted, from what you sold yourself to be. What you presented yourself to be. You'll be haunted by guilt and you're just devaluing yourself,
You see, but
on a moral compass, that is,
Okay, but you guys say that, right? But still, guys perpetuate that whole blesser and blessy lifestyle out there, especially like with side chicks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And you guys have no consideration of how that woman feels, or if she's devaluing herself, if all of that, you know what I mean? It really doesn't matter to you guys. But I know with women, you just get to a point where you're like, okay, I need the bills paid.
Yeah.
I can't be on the
Yeah.
streets.
And
There's a lot of girls that I know who are even in marriages
True.
with a so-called blesser.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Guys that they might not necessarily even
when you're
have an
saying-
emotional
when you
connection
said in a
with.
marriage, do they have a normal boyfriend on the side or a normal,
No, not even.
but fully in a relationship with a blazer?
Yes, but they don't have any
Romantic
they don't
connection or...
exactly.
Yeah.
They just sleep with him because he's got the money. You know what I
Is
mean?
the bag.
And he's the bag. They're gonna sleep with him. They know he provides the lifestyle that she wants. She wants to be able
Absolutely.
to get on a flight, and go to Paris tomorrow
Whenever.
without having any consideration of the budget. She wants to also be able to take the money and help people at home and whatever. And it goes beyond how she feels about it. It's more so like, listen, I want to be comfortable, but I also want my family to be comfortable, etc. So you put all of those things aside. So I just wonder, is it the same for men? You know what I mean? Are you guys able to do that, or does pride override a means to...
I think pride, number one, plays a big role, in it. Because I personally will go do any piss job, instead of, sleeping around. For the sake of my... for the sake of my stability, I know myself. I'm very talkative. Chances are, one day, I'll mention this person's name. And for women, it takes,
we can die. We can die with the secret.
Women will die with the secret.
We will not tell even our best friend. It will just be like, dude, mind your own business. My husband said, the saying where they say your mother always tells the kids to not speak with food in your mouth.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But his interpretation of that particular saying, that when you just have the bare minimum, just keep your mouth shut. You know what I mean? You don't need to look sideways. You don't need to be speaking about how you got it. You don't need to, you know what I mean? Just shut up and do what you need.
Like, you're jeopardizing your health, your partner's health, And
how is that jeopardizing your health? I mean, you're using
you
protection.
don't know, do you use protection always,
Did
that guy use protection, number one?
You see, those are things, and I wish we could actually have that person here as a guest so that we could ask, but obviously
it won't
come. There is not a man alive.
You ain't gonna put my life on blast. I did what I did, and my ass paid the price, and I've recovered. I'm good,
even that, he came home, and the reason, besides being drunk, he had to heal and all of those things, and he, the wife had to look after him.
Oh my God.
Those kinds of things.
Did he confess to the wife?
He confessed to the wife. And you see, but my thing is, if he had done it for the household, as a wife, I would have been okay. I would have been like, you know what, babe? That secret is between me and you. But when you did it for alcohol,
a bucket of Coronas.
Shem, I'm even going to your parents. Going to your family to be like,
your man card is being revoked there, man. No, dude.
I can't with this guy.
As the wife, I need to also understand, what did the wife go through after he told her that? From a mental perspective, and also from
I know from my perspective, right? Especially being a married woman, I can understand my husband having to take piece jobs or whatever the case is because times are hard. That I can understand. I appreciate. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Seeing him having to hold down multiple jobs or whatever the case is. However, if things were really, really dry and he had to go in that direction, it would hurt, right? Because I know it would take so much out of him to even put himself in that type of situation. But if it was to provide for our kids and us, I would completely be down. Yeah. But for alcohol, never. Never.
For alcohol or a pair of Jordans, dude, you're a whore. You're a male whore.
And now I'm questioning your sexuality.
And how long has he been doing this? This is the first time he does this,
Apparently it was his first time. But I don't think it was the first time. Because there's no ways you could even offer such a thing. Right? Out of nowhere. You can't even say, my guy, let me come to your house and wash your cars.
Do you take booty payment? Show Majita.
Swipe the credit card between my ass.
Oh my God. Wow. That is, I just can't comprehend. How did the conversation even start? Okay, clearly Jerry hasn't paid, guys. What are we going to do about Jerry, Oh, but Jerry's been twerking all night,
Jerry's looking kind of good right now.
Jerry's been throwing the eye, So Jerry, itlakwa, Jerry. Smack on the booty, eh? And say, stop it.
You know what? And it's funny because if a white guy did it, I bet you like no one would blink an eyelid. But because it was a black guy, it became such a huge thing. And I don't know why.
Because now it just opens a whole Pandora box about, firstly, the guys that rushed him, bum rushed him. Are those guys straight men or were they?
These are married men.
These are married.
Yeah, this is a circle of married men.
Oh my God.
These are the Joburg streets.
And I've been hearing that, there's this growing trends about married men going out there doing things with other men, in terms of sexually,
Maybe they're just bored. Maybe
What
they've
the
just had too much
fucking
sex with a
thing?
woman and they're just like, you know what, let me try something new. That's what. That is what.
I can't understand fits. I no
But
be lying.
also, you know what? Bisexuality is accepted with women across the board, across all
because
races.
the media sort of painted a different picture. They sold it to us
As sensual, as a fantasy.
sexy, as a fantasy.
It's beautiful. But when two white guys sleep together, no one says anything. It's almost like it's a norm.
Yeah.
But every time it's two black guys, there is a huge...
Absolutely.
There's almost like a disgust. And it's like, but why?
Yes.
That should not be an issue. Shouldn't
Because
everybody
we are
just...
Africans. Africans, we are not supposed to, You are a man,
But it
You are
doesn't
a
mean that you're
king.
not a man.
You are a king. And
That's
the form of masculinity that has been engraved.
So, but
in
now,
us.
listen, things have really, really changed.
Yeah.
Especially, let's say, in the past 5 years.
Absolutely.
Things have really progressed. And are we still looking at sexuality in the same way?
True.
Are we? Really?
I don't even know.
If your son came home and he was like, listen, I think I'm bisexual. I like both men and women. Would it still be a big deal now?
For me, I still... It jolts me. It jolts me. And why am I also being jolted? Is there a disgust in it? Is this something that I think, as a parent, I did something wrong for my boy to end up, being attracted to other boys,
No. They were born like that.
In regards to that, I kids,
Yeah, they were born like that. I mean, it's
are
the
they
same.
really born like that?
Yes.
Okay, some okay,
What do you mean? Are
the
they
soft
really?
ones.
We just spoke now.
Yeah.
There are married men
Yeah.
who are also sleeping with other men.
Yes.
Right? It
But
says nothing about their masculinity, right? It's just what they prefer sexually.
But those men, like you said, for them to develop that thirst for other men, was it something that they had, from the before the marriage, or actually throughout the time when they were growing up? Did they have a knack for male counterparts, or is this a fantasy that slowly started developing, and especially as a group, maybe became, at some point in time, it became like a fetish. Guys, we're going to arties, kanti, we're gonna fuck other men. God damn.
The way I see it, right? If my son came home
Yeah.
and he said, whether he's gay or he's bisexual, then who my son sleeps with is none of my business. The same way
As a
who
mother,
I sleep with,
it's
No.
sort of easier for you
how?
because you
But
carry that child,
That doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything.
As a father.
Because for me, as long as it doesn't change,
No be
who
lie. As a
he
father,
is.
no want that.
No, for me, as long as it doesn't change who he is, like the person that I know him to be, then I'm cool. You know what I mean? If it completely changes who he is, like he becomes a person that I can't respect or who doesn't respect himself even, then I have an issue with it. But who he sleeps with, whether it be male or female, is none of my business.
I think I'll be more accepting of that if, you get those other sort of masculine kind of gay.
Yeah.
And not
I
the
love
one...
the fact that you can't even say the word gay without hesitation. You are so African.
It's such a sensitive topic, you know. Homosexuality is still a very sensitive topic, especially I'm from the Congo, you know, and it's coming here and being exposed to it. It's something that I'm still trying to absorb, you know? Yeah, I'm still trying to like debunk this whole thing, you know, because it's weird because I work in an industry and I'm surrounded by, you know,
gay guys.
Yes.
Homosexual
men, you know, and I work with them constantly. As we're talking right now, I think I'll be more accepting if, let's say, my son, let's say he's born gay.
Yeah.
Can he be the
masculine one? You
type?
want him to be the
I don't want him to be wearing makeup.
Okay, so you just don't want your son to like wear dresses, like cross dress, let's say that. Right? You just want him to be a male, cool, be gay, fine, be with your partner, but just don't change your clothes.
And they say, you know, you get the feminine ones and the masculine one. And
I think they're called tops and bottoms.
Tops and
There's the one who's a top.
Don't they switch? Don't they switch sometimes?
See, I don't know things like that. You see,
oh,
now
this,
we
this
would
week
have.
You are a top. This.
No, I think it's consistent.
How would you react?
I wouldn't. I told you I wouldn't. I wouldn't make it any of my business. If my son is the guy who is gay, he loves other men, fine. You know, however you do you. However, if you're the guy now who has married some girl and you are paying bills by sleeping with other men, that I might have an issue with, because I'm like, now I can't. You know what I mean? Because you're hurting somebody else.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a whole other person in the relationship who's now being lied to,
True.
who's now being in a relationship with somebody who's not true to themselves. Yeah. So that I can't respect. That's why I said to you, as long as you remain the person that I raised, who is respectful of themselves, respectful of others, fuck who you want to fuck, man.
I guess at the end of the day, it's sexual expression, you know? And you are right. As long as it doesn't change you, it doesn't change your values, you know, your foundation, where you come from, you know.
Yeah, I was bisexual. I don't know if that's a thing, but I was bisexual.
How did your parents know about it?
No, my mom thought I was lesbian. She did not expect me to bring a guy home. So she didn't even expect me to marry a man. So my household is completely different.
Yes.
You know what I mean? She was like, wow, I didn't foresee this.
Were you lesbian throughout your youth?
No, I was bisexual throughout my youth.
Bisexual?
Yeah, I was bisexual throughout my youth.
Okay.
I liked both males and females.
When did you discover that you liked female? In most cases, we always think that, okay, it's because maybe she experienced a traumatic breakup.
No, it wasn't that. I don't even know when it like dawned on me, but it was just natural for me. You know what I mean? As natural as a heterosexual relationship is to me, being bisexual was also heterosexual. I mean, was also just as natural. You know what I mean? So if I liked a girl, then I liked her. If I liked a guy, then I liked the guy.
But when did you realize? Like,
I didn't, like I said, I didn't, it wasn't like a aha moment.
It wasn't like one day you start looking at women, you're like,
no, it wasn't like that. It was oh my gosh, you know, like I really vibe with this girl, and hey, do you want to go on a date? Okay, cool, let's go on a date, blah, blah, blah. And not every girl that I liked was into women in the first place. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. But in fact, the girl I was dating was the one who introduced me to my husband. So, Lord and behold.
Well,
she just figured
360 on that.
Not really 360, but I was dating this girl, and then our relationship was not working out, and she was like, hey, there's this guy that I think you can really get along with. And she introduced me to him, blah, blah, blah. Well, I sort of met him before, but then when she later introduced me, I was like, I see you. And then, you know, here we are, 10 years later.
Oh, wow.
We're married with 2 kids.
Has your father ever asked?
No, my dad doesn't ask those kinds of questions.
Those kind of things.
No.
I
No,
told
my
you. Yeah, it's
my dad
different
is
with
too
men.
African for those. He No, we're not having those kind of discussions. In fact, he's not. He's like, listen. In my dad's mind, I'm
Yeah.
still a virgin.
Wow.
Like these kids
Yes.
came from
Angels.
some stalk.
Yeah.
Like I've never had sex. Those kinds of things, my dad
Yes.
just can't even.
Yeah.
No, he just can't. You know. And funny enough, he's one of the most open-minded people I know.
Yeah.
But that, my sexuality and what happens in my bedroom, is a no-go
zone.
area.
Like, yeah, it's like.
However, I am open with my mom about stuff like that,
Okay.
and she expected me to be with a woman. So when I said, "Oh, you know, this is the guy I'm getting married to,"
Okay.
she was like kind of shocked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
But it didn't change anything that I was. I still treat guys the same way I would have treated a girl. It didn't change my personality. I'm still as loud. I'm still the exact same. You know what I mean?
True.
My values and my principles still don't change. But, you know, it is what it is. I would love for like our listeners to actually send us through some comments. Like, would you be okay if your partner uses their body? Uses their body as currency? Are there guys who are married to prostitutes?
This question
you know what I mean?
Towards men and women.
Or towards men and women. Because, I mean, there are guys who are married to a prostitute out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's how she gets her bag.
Yeah.
Are there guys who are, you know, married to strippers who might not necessarily, you know, sleep with a guy, but they're still using their bodies and stuff like as a means to pay the bills. You know, are there guys out there who are doing the same? Please share with us. We would really, really love to hear from you and take this conversation a little further, you know, with a little in-depth knowledge.
Are there still men out there who are still struggling with coming out sexually in terms of homosexuality?
Yeah, especially black guys.
Exactly. Do we still, in this day and age, 2021, do we still have men who don't feel free enough to express themselves? Is it still a struggle for black men to come out and say it, you know? Are we still conflicted by culture, tradition, and, you know, society?
Well, with that said, we will close the show. This is our first show, and we'd love to hear your comments. We would love to hear if you guys want to hear from us again. Again, welcome to
So hit us up on the link.
LBS.
We'll pop a link on screen. So don't be shy. Send in your questions, video clips. Yeah, let's discuss. You know, debunk this bullshit for us. 'Cause I need to have multiple discussion and also, just to understand from also different. For people who are actually in it, you know, or people who have actually used their body to, you know, pay the bills or pay for their coronas.
Your corona medication. Your vaccine.
Yes.
Do reach out to us. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
And we look forward to hearing from you.
Yeah.
Bye.